Hi everyone. Our team Maria, Camille, Ulrika, Tu, and I, Anya, will present to you our training program for the managers who are about to go to France. Here you can see our candidates. As you can see, they all have different backgrounds, education, work experience, age, language skills, religion, family status, and so on.
Our training program is based on the system developed by Hayes and Ninemar. So the first steps are identification of needs and also needs assessment, both for organizational level and individual level. Then we develop training objectives, develop training plan. We are conducting training and also evaluating training effectiveness through feedback and also some sort of forms. So our first steps are assessment of needs and also developing training objectives. So regarding cultural level, we've looked some Hofstadter cultural dimensions and identified that there is a higher power distance in France than in the United Kingdom and also high uncertainty avoidance rank. We also have to bear in mind language barrier. According to the organizational level, we should remember that the company is following ethnocentric approach, so they are hiring only home country nationals. Then this training session has to be long-term because the company is willing to operate successfully in other European countries, and also it is the first experience of sending managers abroad. And also about job level, it is a stressful and fast-paced environment where adaptation and flexibility skills are must-have, and the season starts the 1st of May. And as Anya already said, there are different capabilities, personal traits, abilities, and also marriage status for each manager.
Now let's take a quick look at the training schedule. I will briefly explain the courses included into it. To start with, the training is based on business cases analysis, which will help managers adapt faster to real-life situation in business life in France. We have French courses, about which you will hear later from Camille. In organizational behavior course, the managers will be acquainted with French organizational culture, and also there will be some guest speakers from France invited. In cultural training course, the participants will learn French culture with all its customs and traditions and all other aspects. Management accounting and SAP courses will introduce entities to financial management in Europe. Those who already took such courses at university do not have to go to these classes. In basic of French law course, there will be the main laws and regulations in French business world explained, and the delegation and project management courses will help managers to get to know and fresh up some management practices to keep the work productive and adjust to a new environment very fast. Apart from the courses, the participants will have breaks, family time, and team building time when they can get to know each other and share their learning experience. And here you can see the benefits during the training period, and among those you can see that managers will get the places in a kindergarten for their kids, and there will be breaks that can be spent with family or walking a dog, for example. There will be also vegan options during lunch breaks, and as it was already mentioned, the schedule is flexible and those who already took certain courses do not have to attend them.
For language training, we will have a basic French language course for all 6 candidates upon arrival to France before starting the first day of the job. Before the work begins, they will have 3 times a week for 3 to 4 hours depending, and then once the actual job starts, so they can focus more on the main part of the job while still learning French, they will have 2 times a week for 2 to 3 hours. The course will be taught by a native French speaker who will teach them the basics of French, such as the French culture, greetings and goodbyes, how to ask questions, how to answer questions related to the hotel or hotel jargon words, personal information, numbers, and things of that nature. They have the option, of course, to further their studies in French if they desire to do so, and we hope to encourage this in our class, but if not, it's totally optional. If someone feels that they already have a good working knowledge of French or basic survival knowledge of French, they have the option to opt out, but they have to take a test, and if they pass the test, then they don't have to take the course. Throughout the course, we will also do quizzes just to keep up to date on how well our candidates are doing in the French course, if they're really absorbing the knowledge or not. And then we also will have scenarios that we'll act out with French in the hotel so that they can get an idea of what it will really be like to actually use the language in a real life scenario.
So I'm gonna talk about the on-the-job training, which includes 5 sections: corporate strategies, organizational culture, sensitivity training, and hotel industry in the French context. With the corporate strategies, we want the course to encourage strategic thinking, provide toolkits to execute a strategy well in the organization, and enable the leaders to make right long-term decisions. So the training agendas include theories of strategies, formulations, and its implementation. The next one is the organizational cultures. So we want to add skill of collaboration, adaptations, and innovation into company culture and enable the managers to develop healthy culture from the beginning by successfully assessing, refining, and modifying its existing culture. So the training agenda is going to include theories of organizational culture and definition of for the foundations factors in building a culture, and as well as action plan using feedback to improve the culture. With the sensitivity training, which is also the important part of the program, we want to make the learners aware of their behavior toward others who are different from them to help build a professional, values-driven environment and also promote a solid organization growth. So with the training agenda, we want to emphasize the harassment or sexual harassment, also the discrimination in the workplace, and the cultural awareness or the diversity of the workplace. So the last one, also the most important one to me, is the hotel industry in the French context. With this program, we want to take hospitality to the next level of cemented guests and guide the rest of the staff on the path to success. Identify what the leadership needs, also which staff members are most qualified to fulfill these roles. Also, the training agendas include customer service standards and expectations, hotel management, food beverage, hotel event management, and MICE, which all considered in the French context.
So, to the training at the location, which is scheduled 13th to 30th of April. When the managers arrive to France, they are given a week to move and learn the environment, because it is easier to work if you know your surroundings and know how to move around in the location. Then we will start off the training. At 9 o'clock in the morning, they will have lectures about corporate strategy, which is held by existing managers in the company. The managers from the company will stay in France for 3 weeks. After lunch, we will have lectures about organizational culture, and these lectures are held by local managers from other companies and existing managers from the UK company. Local managers are talking about the organizational culture in France, and UK managers about the organizational culture in the company. The last lecture of the day will be sensitivity training, which is held by local social study professors. The training will consist of virtual lectures, individual work, and group work. Discussions are an important part of the training. At last, we're going to talk about the last week before the opening of the hotel. This week is going to be filled with lectures about hotel industry in French context. This is held by local managers, and also the existing UK managers will join each location during this week to help the new managers individually. After the opening, local managers and the UK managers will travel between the locations and help out on site. And after this, they will offer their help remotely. So thank you very much for listening, and remember to wash your hands.